it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you. It might not. All right. So this is a very interesting message, and it's trickled in over the last couple of days. I thought that these were all separate messages, and for some of you, they might be, but I started to get the impression that all of these things were kind of stitched together. So of course, take this however it resonates for your particular situation. But this does have to do with a karmic movement, as a lot of things have been recently. So I just get the sense that there's some real karmic justice that's being served up here recently. And this has to do with a group. And it's coming through as a group of women. But of course, take that however it resonates. And I'm seeing 3 women in particular. But this is an interesting group because I feel like that's just the first tier of a-hole in this group of women. And these are 3 women that work together very intentionally behind your back in secret in order to try and bring about your downfall. They wanted to undermine you in some way. They really wanted to tank your confidence. They wanted you alone, isolated, and they did not want anybody mirroring back the truth of who you actually are. So that's like there's 3 women here, but I'm also seeing the number 7. So this could have overall been a group of 7. So there, I don't know if it's like 3 plus 4 equals 7. So there could have been 4 other women that were kind of brought in on a second tier of a-hole, or but these are people that I'm hearing myself say in another reading that there's 4 people that kind of owed you an explanation, that should have, karmically speaking, they should have alerted you to the fact that something was amiss here and that something was going wrong. So I don't know if that happened for some of you and it didn't for others, but there's definitely karmic testing that was going on here in this situation. And the last people to know, I think, are this group of a-holes here that I think are now getting their karma. And it's way too late to apologize. I'm hearing that song, it's too late to apologize, because they've missed the point. Like, the apology is not actually coming through in good conscience. It's not coming through neutrally. It's not coming through in good graces. It's still coming from a self-serving place, because these people, they did it to begin with, and they kept it in so long as they thought that they were getting away with it. So it's not coming from a pure place, like even now. But basically, that's the idea that they have, is they want to come forward and apologize. I think they want to send some kind of ambassador forward, whether it's a child of theirs or whether it's somebody that they think you would look upon as like non-threatening or agreeable or sweet, or that you would be interested in what they had to say in order to make some kind of small talk or engage in some kind of like small conversation, like back and forth, maybe possibly leading to a reunion to where they can own up and potentially tell you the truth about something that they intentionally, I want to say, kept from you, but also wanted to keep you guessing about. And this is ridiculous to me, because they want to say, oh, I lost myself for a little while. I've learned from this spiritual lesson and grown. No doubt those are somewhat true, but I just want to remind you that this was all very intentional. These are not people that are like, I really didn't have any kind of understanding about the impact of my actions. No, these are people that knew that their actions were going to have a devastating impact. And they knew there was I think they wanted to keep you separate. I just heard love rival. They knew what they wanted. They knew that it was devastating for you, and they didn't care. Okay, so they didn't make a mistake. They made a decision. They didn't lose themselves for a while. They played out exactly the scenario that they wanted to play out. They got caught. At least they got caught by universal forces. And they were always going to, because this is a spiritual test. And part of that spiritual test, so what I think happened here in the past, I literally think there was some kind of a plan to get together, so like create some kind of gathering. And I think it had to do with like drinking. And they wanted to maybe plan some kind of party, but they wanted you left out. They didn't want you not invited. They wanted you invited, and they didn't want anybody to speak to you. So they may have actually told people not to speak to you, to make you feel left out, to make you feel not included. So that they wanted you basically like sad on your knees. They wanted you to not see the trouble that they were intentionally causing. And they wanted you to internalize that. They wanted to knock your confidence, and they wanted you to potentially take a leap of faith into a no-win scenario that was stacked against you from the start, and then have some kind of sudden shocking realization. And this has to do with the Ace of Wands. So if this is a work situation, it could be some kind of creative project, but I think for most of you, this is schmegul. They wanted you to realize that somebody here jumped in schmegully with somebody else, because they wanted this group I do think that the party thing is specific, okay? And this also is broad brushstrokes too. Like outside of this specific gathering here, they just wanted you not to know that these people were working, colluding behind your back against you at nighttime. And you were just trusting and being innocent in your lovely self. And they wanted you to feel left out. And they wanted you to feel confused. And I think they also wanted to give you options that they wanted to confuse you about your options. But there is scorpionic energy going on behind that. These are also people who presented a very positive face to you, some kind of positive countenance. They pretended to be your friends, or they pretended to be your love interests. And behind the scenes, there's that scorpionic energy, strategic planning, power dynamics, secrets, trauma. Yeah, they were planning on that, and they didn't want you to have the truth about this. And you may not have, but they wanted to put you in a no-win scenario. Now, like I said, this is a karmic test, because their karmic test, and I think it's different for everybody here, because mark my words, there's a narcissist, okay? There's at least one narcissist here, and maybe a bunch of flying monkeys, okay? And the flying monkeys, their karmas, they need to learn not to be a follower energy. And there could have been two people, is what I'm getting in this group, that were really not all about whatever plan this narc was putting forward. But I just think that they didn't stand up to this person at all. But let's talk about a little bit of this karmic test, because I think they tried to interfere with your destiny in some way, and it could have had you guessing about what your options were. This could have been a professional environment, you know, of who to partner up with for your creative project, who was going to listen to you, who was, you know, or this could have had to do with a romantic situation, take whatever resonates. But I'm seeing your energy here as the Page of Cups, right? So that's what I'm getting from you, is like, you were the lifeblood in some way. Like, you were new, you were fresh, you were innocent, you were genuinely focused on whatever creativity you had to offer. I'm seeing you in some amazing cooperative energy. You're not trying to be threatening to anybody at all. And there's a new energy here. So you could have been the new kid on the block. You could have been new in this work environment. You could have been younger here, but you showed up in a very positive energy. But you're showing up as a page here as well. And that's in the material. So again, you could have been younger, you could have been smaller, you could have been newer, something here like that. And because these people are showing up like bigger to me in some way in this environment. But I'm seeing your energy flicker, and it's flickering into the spiritual. And then I'm seeing your energy actually come through as Kuan Yin, which is a very strong energy. She's a bodhisattva, and she's the bodhisattva of compassion. And so spiritually, I think you're definitely the bigger energy. And I do think this is the karmic test. And I've been getting a lot of Jesha energy, because Jesha is at the end of Scorpio. And that's where I think they didn't understand about their own activities, because they were trying to keep Scorpio energy from you and possibly try to draw you into some kind of abusive, unfair dynamic, whether that was in the workplace where they have you settling for something that you don't deserve, like a lesser position or lesser pay, or like for a partnership that you don't deserve, where somebody is not being entirely honest with you or something, right? But you're that Jesha energy, which in the Kali Yuga, people who give to Jesha, people who support Jesha and uplift Jesha, whose energy is cloaked in the Kali Yuga, and you're cloaked as this Page of Cups, because Jesha is the elder sister energy. It's somebody who brings a lot to the table. They pull a lot of weight, and I'm getting that from your energy as well. But they wanted to minimize that. They wanted to reduce you. They didn't want you seen for everything that you are. And so I feel like this was a part of the karmic test. Because you're a very big soul to have gone into this situation. And I just heard, I think they were found out, and they could have been called out here as well, because I think what Spirit did is Spirit reversed this energy on them. So now they are confused about their options. They were confused about what went on behind the scenes here. They are now in the position that they wanted you in, where they're on their knees, possibly destitute is what I'm hearing. They feel cornered in, but I actually think it's by their truth. Like, there's certain people where they don't, maybe their reputation precedes them. And now they are in a no-win scenario. And it's because whatever they did to you here, I'm hearing, he who interferes with the destiny of another will never receive his own. They didn't understand that they were playing with fate lines here. I think they actually thought this was funny. They thought this was lighthearted, which is gross. That's what I'm saying. I would be very hesitant. I think you're a very compassionate person. I don't think that's something that you need to work on. I think even as you sit here listening to this, and you're probably feeling a mix of things, anger, sadness, but I think still you feel compassion. But I wouldn't have these people anywhere near you, because there's just a rotten streak in these people. And I feel like that's now being seen for what it is, because this isn't lighthearted. They're like, oh, we were just messing around. This isn't funny. This isn't how you mess around. This is serious, and it's weird. It's a lot of things, like maybe sadistic, but it is straight weird that this is what these people, that's what tickles their ribs. That's what brings a chuckle from their abyss. And it is a stinky, nasty abyss within these people. This is not okay. They didn't realize, though, that you're Jesha and that you will always prevail, because they thought that you were in the Four of Swords. They thought that you could not see while they were taking shots at your moon energy. So again, they were trying to erode your emotional stability. They were trying to, I'm really seeing the second chakra energy here. They were trying to take hits at your second chakra. And there's 4 people at least, and I've gotten this message before, that knew about this, did not tell you the truth, and their hearts are being judged. Their hearts are being weighed here. But I am seeing you had a spirit guide, and for some of you, this is a literal pet. And it could be a pet that's passed over, or it could be a literal pet in your environment that was there to keep you company. And I do think you were allowed to be in the dark about this. You're the kind of person that's very strong, but, and that's part of the karmic test that was going on here, is do they realize that this Page of Cups energy is leaps and bounds the higher cup in this situation? And I'm hearing myself say in another reading that innocence is the seed to nobility. And they do see that now, that you've grown into quite a force, or that you've grown into your Empress energy. They don't understand how you got there, but they are kind of being confronted with it. And I think that's the energy in some way, shape, or form that is making them want to come in, kiss your ass maybe, apologize maybe, but you are in this protective stance. And also, even though this is decrepit, I can see that there is a higher purpose to all of this, and it's to help you close out this karmic cycle where you realize that these people are not your friends, because I feel like they've done this for lifetimes, this group of people, where they play Venus in your face, they play nice, and they're nasty. And they're nasty behind the scenes towards you, but think about the kind of person that does this and laughs and makes friends based on that energy. Think about that. Okay, so it's so you have really shielded yourself from this. And I'm seeing Chitra energy. So that's somebody who's got a quick wit. It's also somebody who sees things very clearly and is usually very balanced and very beautiful. And but that is you cut off this group, this karmic group. And so now that karma is being received. And I'm seeing them turn against each other here in the Five of Wands. I'm seeing all of them kind of point the finger at each other. Well, wait a second. I mean, did you do this? Did I do this? All of a sudden, everybody's memory's hazy. They don't remember who was laughing at what horrible thing. They don't remember who suggested what abominable thing. They don't know who was just tickled to death when they were saying, they don't know. They don't remember, because that doesn't sound like them. That doesn't sound like me. I don't think that I meant to do that. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And all of a sudden, they're just acting confused here. And it's because they're ego defense mechanisms are now, isn't it interesting? They were trying to keep you from the truth. It's turned on them, and their ego is trying to protect them for the truth of what they actually did and how gnarly this actually was. And the fact that I feel like this could have had to do with a friendship and possibly something that was going to turn into more. This also could have had to do with, okay, because I'm seeing the Six of Cups. So it could have been a friendship, but I'm seeing a friendship between a masculine and a feminine. So it could have been they didn't want a friendship to turn into something sexual, or they didn't want a friendship to turn into something more, or they wanted you to think that it was only schmegdual. But to me, the Six of Cups is Sun in Scorpio. So it's a transformation of that Sun energy. And I don't know if it's you or if it's this masculine energy, or if you are this masculine, if it's you or this feminine energy, or both of you. But they didn't want somebody here to transform in their Sun energy, to do with their personality, to do with their career. They didn't want somebody here leveling up and possibly moving. This is like a level up, though. They didn't want somebody to level up. And that could be you, because I think they were threatened by you, like in this work environment with your ideas and your freshness and your pizzazz and your casualness. They knew you were a nice person. These are people that knew that you were a nice person, but they wanted to frame you in a negative light because they just didn't want you to get the job. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want that. So they interfere with the fate line. They interfere with God. So these people thought they were undermining you, and they thought that they were sabotaging you. But this is Wheel of Fortune energy here. It's a Jupiter energy. It's God energy. This was divinely planned out. They interrupted and interfered with a divine destiny. I don't think that it matters much. And so because it still cut you off from this karmic cycle either way. And what they thought, you were in the Four of Swords energy of, okay, we got away with it. They don't know. So we ended something for them. No, they didn't, because I'm seeing you come out the gate with this in 2 major arcana energies, Hermit energy, Empress energy. So I think that I'm hearing from, I don't know if you guys remember the children's tale from when we were young. It's the Briar Patch. Please don't put me in the Briar Patch. That little bunny. So there was this annoying rabbit, and I don't know, somebody was trying to catch him in the tar. So it set out a tar baby and got him to hug the tar baby, and then the rabbit got stuck to it, and it's like, what should I do with you? Like, and then the rabbit uses kind of reverse psychology. Well, whatever you do, you can thump me on my head, but please don't throw me in the briar patch, because that's the place where I was born, he says, after like the reverse psychology worked and he threw him in the briar patch. And I feel like with you, it's like, oh please don't isolate me. Oh please don't leave me alone, because you do just fine on your own with this hermit energy. And also, like, you are very productive in this energy. And also, I don't think you were really sad either. Maybe if you had some kind of inkling that people suck around you, that probably would make you sad, but not the aloneness. I think that you are a very wise person, and or you went internal and you cultivated this wiseness, and you cultivated your ability to be alone and stand on your own. And then badao, you like came out here in this Empress energy, which is genuine Venus energy, which is what they were trying to present all along. Bet that's very intimidating for somebody that can only fake Venus energy to have the real thing just badao, like in front of them, after they tried to cut it down, no less. And it is part of their karma, is to see you succeeding and actually doing well, even though they did their damnedest to try and tear you down. And I just get that it's jealousy, but weirdly, I also think it's on a soul level, some kind of weird abandonment thing where they think that you're leaving them behind on a soul level, but they could have been decent. But anyways, they're watching you manifest in like from this place of good karma and abundance, and they're feeling like very trapped. Now, this is where the karma is kind of coming in here. The other thing I want to say here is that they want to come in and tell you how much they admire you. And I think they want to laugh with you. And I think, but I don't think you want to laugh with these people. I don't think you want to really let them more than an arm length near to you. Because you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. So you might want to keep them as far away as you can throw them, kind of a thing, And they've brought that on themselves. And also, I think it says a lot about their character that now is the time they want to come in and bring an apology, because it's not genuine. It's really not. I think they're starting to see things from a different perspective, but the transformation has not taken place, and they're trying to avoid their karma because they've received repercussion. These people are just cowards, because they can't face the music is what I'm getting. And I just heard, please don't stop the music. And I just saw you dancing, please don't stop the music. And it's like, because you're just getting your good karma. And it's reminding me of the Taylor Swift song Karma, where she's like, karma is a cat purring in my lap because it loves me. Don't you wish you and karma vibe like that? Because these people, I just heard karma yoga, which, karma yoga, I don't want to get like, maybe that's what they're being called towards. But karma yoga is like when you undertake an action, not because of the fruit you think it's going to bring to you, but because like for the action in and of itself. And I really think that's the key for these people, to clear up their own karma, because they're trying to bring this apology to you because of the fruit that they think it's going to bring to them, which is getting karma off their back. They only realize this when karma was already setting in. It's too late for these people. They are going to learn their lesson here, like, because it's not coming from an innocence of spirit. It's not coming because they're genuinely sad and sorry. They're only sorry for themselves. So it's not the same thing, right? And I think in the past, that's what they were doing. They took this underhanded action. They didn't look at the action itself. They just looked at what they thought they were going to gain from the action. And they went, yes, please. And that was the karmic test, because you're coming in as this bodhisattva energy. And the deck that I have Kuan Yin depicted in, she always looks sad to me, like in her eyes. And I think you're sad that these people went in for the bait and that they did what they weren't supposed to do. I'm hearing touch nothing but the lamp. Yeah. And I do think that it also makes you angry. And these people also, like, they think that you're nobody's fool here. And they think that you're very strong-willed and you're very creative and you're very determined, because they know what they tried to do to bury you. And they know that you made the most of it. And that, they think that you're very ambitious. They think that possibly you have a calling here. They could think that you're very schmegdual here as well. And I think that if somebody tries to humiliate you or degrade you or harm people in any way, I don't think you're the kind to suffer a fool lightly. Like, literally everybody in this group was like, haha, that sounds like a good idea. And I think you'd be like, is there something wrong with you? We don't do this to people. And they kind of are recognizing that. And there's a respect here. And there's also respect for the fact that you have pieced something here together. And that's also what I find unfair about this apology, because they're like, oh, let me come in here and like apologize. I want to own up. I want to tell you the truth here, like about this group and about what we were doing. And they tried to put distance here, and possibly through anger and through shock. They try to do that, and you've already pieced it together. At least to anything that you need to know, you already know. So it's useless. It's absolutely useless right now. And so Spirit, like I said, Spirit has them now in a no-win situation. And they're going to try to take a leap of faith here, and it's foolish, and they're going to be potentially shocked. And then it's going to have them in like this Eight of Swords energy where they're up in their head and they don't know which way to go. But I think it's because, like I said, with them, it's because of the truth of who they are. Then they don't have any options, or they're, and I think that they're in the same situation they try to put you in. So all of their options are kind of bad. Like they have that scorpionic energy behind them. I just heard pick your poison, so it's like maybe and this could have to do with whatever arena this took place in for you. And if it's a double arena, then it's a double arena for them, meaning it's work and love. It's work and love for them. But there's something here hidden, and they feel scared about that. So yeah, and it's because they interrupted your fate line. Now there's Spirit intervened in their destiny, and it could have to do with like a house move here. Maybe they had something to do with a childhood home that they have to leave, or something here. Something about a childhood friend. I don't know, but they are getting some kind of karma. Now that's where this leaps into another vision that I was getting. And I do think that they are connected, but I think I'm actually going to end this one here, and I'm going to record the other one as if it's its own reading. Well, maybe I won't. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do this message for tomorrow. So we'll wrap this one up. If that resonates, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And tomorrow's reading will be a continuation of this one. Okay, bye.